her first Big Ten diving medal for the freshman.
Our final diver, Lena, 107 feet.
They really bring out the best, and that's where sometimes you don't expect, and you may get a surprise, and we're seeing a couple of those here tonight.
By the way, we are being introduced at the moment to the women's 3-meter diving finalists.
Mimicking her teammate before, Sophie gets her night started off on the right foot, just destroying the entry of that front 2.5 pipe. What you want to see divers do when they go in the water is have their arms all the way extended, elbows locked out, and get a flat palm on the water to create a hole for their body to go through without any splash. Exactly like we saw Sophie do there. Getting 56 points on your lowest degree of difficulty dive is a beautiful way to start off your night. Avery continues the trend of excellent front 2.5 pipes from the Boilermakers to start off this night, as they took 3 of the top 4 spots in this afternoon's prelims. Purdue could be going for a podium sweep tonight, and Avery gets that off on the right foot with 57 points to start. A beautiful in her 2.5 tuck there from Dara as she looks to move up the standings as well. Cuts off her top just slightly, and she could get more height coming off the board. But when you're able to put any dive through the water cleanly like that, it works as an eraser. Now that's a near perfectly executed back 2.5 tuck. Darren takes it nice and high off the board, compresses into a nice tight tuck, gets that moving quickly, and sets herself up for success in a nice vertical entry. Flexes her feet just slightly going through the water, which is what the judges are dinging her for there, but approaching that 60-point mark on a degree of difficulty dive under 3.0 is a remarkable feat. With a little bit of ground to make up on the top 3 headed into this round, Sophie did exactly what she needed to do on that dive we call a fill out in the diving world. She does a full twist at the end of her front 2.5 pike and is able to drop that in for a clean entry. And a beautiful score for the judges as well. Avery's one of the ones bringing heat in these final few rounds in terms of degree of difficulty as she performs that back 2.5 in the pike position compared to the tuck position, keeping her legs straight as opposed to the bent knees we saw from those before her. Not only is she an excellent job by Darren getting that through the water cleanly to go away with some of the execution errors we saw from her there in the air. As we've seen on a couple of her front entries, doesn't get as much height off the board as we could. Excellent dive there from Avery. That's going to be in contention for the highest scoring dive of the night so far. Able to ride the board and give herself a lot of height to set herself up for a beautiful entry going through the water. With that 66 points only going to help. These ladies tonight are putting on a reverses clinic. This is the category that most divers would label as their least favorite, but all of these women tonight are dispelling that with ease.
Sophia, 305 feet.
That's the third absolutely destroyed gainer 2.5 we've seen in a row here from these ladies. Just a testament to the talent level that we're seeing in this competition. Sophie's able to execute that press out perfectly, get her palms flat on the water, and put that through for a dive that's going to be a difference maker tonight.
Avery, 405B.
Avery's doing what she can to make up some ground here on Skylar, just a point back headed into this round. Has too much juice on that. Her adrenaline takes her slightly over vertical on that entry, which is why we're not seeing her get into that 8 range and close to that 70. Sitting just outside the medal positions before that dive was Darren, and she did everything that she could do to put herself in contention for a bronze medal. Just absolutely nails the entry of that dive, puts the classic grip on it, and we're going to have to see how that 350.7 holds up through these last few divers here. Sophie continues to rip every single dive, showcasing her most phenomenal technique there, getting through the water clean. She sent just too far out of the medals, headed into this round to be able to make up the ground to get to the bronze, but still finishes her evening on a good note. The pressure is on both Avery and Lena here to finish their nights with 50-plus point dives in order to grab a medal. And even though she's a freshman, that pressure had no effect on Avery there. She's able to get that forward 2.5 full twist through the water with ease and more than enough points to get at least a bronze medal tonight. Her first Big Ten diving medal for the freshmen.
Our final diver, Lena, 107B. In 7th place from Purdue University with a score of 336.95, Sophia McAfee. Tied for 5th place with a score of 339.60 from Indiana University, Lily Whitty. And from University of Minnesota, Viviana Del Angel. In 4th place with a score of 350.70 from Purdue University, Darren Wright. And your 3rd place finisher and bronze medalist with a score of 353.55 from Ohio State University, Lena Hensel. And your 2nd place silver medalist with a score of 361.20 from Purdue University, Avery Warable.